Hello, I thought it'd be cool to see one of my sketchbooks. This one is 2 to 3 years old. It's a Canson ArtBook. Usually I like to paint the inside covers like you see here. This is a restaurant I used to eat a lot at the mall. Here are some doodles, Game of Thrones idea, an ink doodle. I have a lot of random stuff in here. This is actually a really cool story. It looks like well, it's really simple drawing, but the story behind it was pretty cool. Here's a lot of Comic Con stuff that I did. Scarlet Witch and Death from Sandman. You might recognize a few of these characters. Um, but anyways, the story that I was actually a local one. It's a story from the 20s or 30s, I believe, when a thief was getting away with stealing a lot of jewels from the rich people who live here in Dallas, Texas. The thief was never caught, which is pretty awesome. I mean, I guess it's not awesome because it's a crime, but I think the story is awesome because it's kind of local and I've never heard of it before. But the cool thing I think about it was that the thief became, how do I put it? So the rich people, in a way, to prove their worth, would fake being robbed by this thief because this thief evidently went only for the richest goods. And I guess in a way it became another status symbol for the rich and elite of Dallas. And so people were faking being robbed when they actually weren't robbed by him. So anyways, it's almost like they wanted to be robbed. So that's what I kind of was funny about it, but it kind of made the story kind of cool in another way. But anyways, back to my sketchbook. Let's see, what do we have here? So this is some Twitter stuff. Back when I used to do Twitter art challenges. A Valkyrie, and that was Pele from Hawaii. This was a random doodle. That was a random face. So yeah, some of the drawings are really drawn kind of lightly for the bright light that I'm using, so they're a little bit washed out. Sorry about that. But a lot of this is pretty much just random doodles that I do when I'm bored or when I'm warming up to a drawing. This one I know is a really light pencil drawing, but it came out pretty cool, and I framed it in some black electrical tape. This was a superhero based off somebody that I know. This was an idea I have, I don't really remember. This one's based off of Erica Badu. We're going to see her in concert once. Oh, who's that handsome fella? That was a little portrait. But yeah, I love Erica Badu, and I have a few portraits of her that I've done. Oh, again, my, sorry about that. How did that get in there? Here's another random portrait, random doodle, a light sketch of what an elf looks like, a couple of more doodles I was working on. Obviously, I like to do a lot of faces. I could definitely fill up my sketchbooks a lot more. Like I said, this was a few years ago, so I kind of do now more than I did then, putting kind of paintings and swatches and more colorful stuff in my sketchbook. I get really inspired by a lot of sketchbooks that I see on YouTube, or especially from artists that I like. This is Raven. I actually have a finished work of her that I did for Comic Con. I used that sketch on the right in particular. Came out pretty cool. This was Jack Frost. I actually painted both of these sketches, and the left one sold to somebody at Comic Con. They really liked it. Let's see. That was going to be a Kill Bill picture. Let's see. That was based off Utena, Revolutionary Girl Utena, the anime. These were some robot girl concepts I was working with because I was going to do a robot comic, which I think I have in here also. Um, it's like robot tentacles. Yeah, here we go. So that's like the two robot characters I was gonna work with, called Robosexual, and she is looking for love in all the wrong places. I actually never finished this into a finished comic. But the idea has never left me. I still want to do it. I'm going to do it. Just not sure if I'm gonna like make giant pieces out of them, and or just make a simple comic, a one-page comic to put together. sorry for the blank spaces. I mean, there's a lot of like spaces I haven't used in this sketchbook in particular, but lately I have been going back to my older sketchbooks just to fill in the pages. I don't know if that, I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I want to use the space and not waste it, but I also feel like it is um, not good for the chronological time, or what am I trying to say? It's not good for seeing my improvement over time. And so, I don't know. I mean, I should start dating my sketches so that I know when was painted what, but I kind of don't like having so much blank space in there now. So now I kind of fill up my sketchbooks a little bit more than what we see here. And sorry, some of these drawings are still kind of light, but that's Aeon Flux from Comic Con. That is a Phoenix drawing that I did, and I did ink it on another page that I really liked. That is the sketch I used for the death portrait I did for someone. This was a Wolverine study. I wasn't all that good at drawing guys there. It's a princess concept. This is a storm concept. Love drawing storm. I have lots of drawings of storm. This is one I really want to do one day, but I haven't done this one yet. This is an alien girl study that I did. She came out pretty cool. I started using the blue non-photo pencil here and then inking over that because that's what a lot of comic people did. So I thought I would try it out. This is a comic character that I wanted to start using. It was a space girl, and she's like alone in space and kind of exploring aloneness. Really inspired by that Sandra Bullock movie. I can't remember what it's called right now. I'll put it up on screen. But it was pretty cool and kind of inspired that. So I like sticking a lot of random things in my sketchbook and then like using them. This is a one-page comic that I was doing. I think it was called Late, or the theme was called Late. This was a graphic idea that I had. I don't remember now. Like, I hate when I like look back on stuff and I thought the idea was really cool back then, but now it's like I know it was really good in my head, and when I got it down, I forgot about it. So now I don't really know what the original looked like in my head, but the idea is still there. I can go back to it if I want and just change it up to what I like now. These are some underwater looks. And here is a fairy, perhaps a fairy queen, I don't know, looking over an egg. Really, really tight little tiny pen drawing. That was like a mandala. Here's some hero stuff I was getting into and ideas. These are a couple of profile studies in a little bit of watercolor. There's a little advertisement I used when I was doing Comic Con, and I put that on my Instagram way back in the day. Here I'm going through some ideas and writing. I don't know, I do like writing in my sketchbook a lot. It's kind of like a journal sometimes when I'm like explaining an idea or ideas that I don't want to forget, and I have like a simple sketch to go with them or something. I like that. This one I did redo as a small painting, but I still think I like the sketch even more. But that's a painting, like watercolor painting type sketch that I was talking about that I like doing. These are some random drawings. I was testing out my Pentel brush pen. They came out pretty cool. I like the fairy ones there. These are just some random doodles I put all together with some colored gel pens. Testing out gel pens there. This was a portrait I started but didn't finish. This one also. This one was a study. And that was it. So thanks guys for watching. Look forward to another sketchbook later. Thanks. Also, feel free to like and subscribe if you liked what you saw here today. Before you leave me a comment below letting me know what you like to do in your sketchbook. And peep the next video popping up on your screen now.